from an evacuation centre. She lives in and around and a little bit north of Gympie, and she joins us now. Leesa, firstly, how are you doing?
Doing all right. I believe my house is still standing, so that's a bonus at this point.
So tell me about your day.
It's been a long one. It's been a bit hectic and I'm a bit tired. So this morning I found out around 9 a.m. that there was fires in the Noosa area. I was actually up in Gympie. I was on my way to Noosa to go to Noosa North Shore. And by the time I got to Noosa North Shore at 9:30 this afternoon, 9:30 this morning, the ferry was closed, the police were there, we couldn't get access to Noosa North Shore at all the emergency services were heading over there. So, yeah.
So do you run or work at the Noosa campground?
Where my partner and I are managers at the Noosa North Shore Beach campground. So, yeah.
So when you couldn't even get in there, that meant, of course, you weren't able to get anything at all. So normally when people have an evacuation, if they can, they try to grab a couple of things here and there. But you've spent the day, essentially, with the clothes on your back.
Yeah, so luckily the campground's going under some renovations at the moment. So we have been staying between Noosa and our property up here north of Gympie. So, you know, not all of our belongings are there. We still have a lot of personal effects and a lot of furniture that are down there, but thankfully not everything we own is down there. So we're managing okay for now.
So as the day rolls on, how are you getting information about where the fire is and even what's happening exactly at your joint?
Well, to be honest, I've had to rely on everything that everybody else has to rely on. I've had to rely on, I've got a Queensland Fires app on my phone, which has been really useful. And I check the QFES Facebook page, the Noosa Council Facebook page, and just try and keep up to date pretty much all day to try and get the updates as they come through so we can be as informed as possible. Do
you wish you had $1 for every time you hit refresh today?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be loaded right now.
How have you dealt with the roller coaster of emotions?
Oh, it's been hard. It's been really hard. I'm usually a fairly high vibe person and really positive, but I have had moments where I've had a few little cries today as well. It's tough not knowing exactly where the fire is and, you know, whether it's impacting my house or my friends' homes. I've got a lot of friends on Noosa North Shore as well, and we've all been affected by it. So it's certainly worrying, and it's been a roller coaster today.
So what information do you have that gives you some hope that that the property's okay?
Well, the fire's under control now, which is great. It was touch and go there for a few hours this afternoon. The wind was going the wrong way. The fire was blowing towards the campground. It's at the moment, fingers crossed, it's under control. It's been downgraded to the watch and act level, which is wonderful news. So hopefully the fires can just keep it under control tonight, and we should be good tomorrow, I hope.
Well, I've only got 9 toes, but I've got the full 10 fingers, so I'll cross everything I possibly can for you, as well as everyone watching. What do you want to say to those fireys who may well have saved your property today?
Oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so grateful for everything you've done on Noosa North Shore with the Koroiba fires. I know we've got firefighters from everywhere coming to help us. I just thank all the firefighters from the bottom of my heart that are working so hard to save all the property Australia-wide at the moment.
Good on you, Leesa. All the best. I hope that you get that good news that we all think that you're on your way to, and all the best. I'm sorry you had to go through today, but thank God we've got those people who do run towards trouble every single time.
Yeah. Thanks for having me tonight.
Good on you, mate. Leesa Downey is her name, and she's joining us right now a little north of Gympie. The area that she was focused on was in the Noosa North area. Another area worth talking about too is Clumber in Queensland, where there was fire that has ripped through that area in the last little while. And Julia Bradley is our reporter who had a chance to sit down with a bloke who was well and truly exhausted after fighting fires there. Remember, we're trying to tell the stories of real people because that's what ultimately matters on times like this.
Oh yeah, we've had a lot of country burnt. We'll feed our cattle. we'll feed our cattle and hope it rains. It's all happened before, but you don't get any tougher. You don't get any tougher. You just accept it.
And I know you were mentioning that the real issue for you was that the fire crept onto your grass and your hay, which is quite crucial for your cattle.
Yes, like we'll feed cattle now, and hope it rains when we don't know. But it's happened before, and many times. And whether it's a tough drought or just a small drought that only goes for a couple of months, they're all tough. And the little ones condition you to live with the tough ones. See, it hasn't rained here for, oh bloody hell, it hasn't rained here since last March or something like that.
So this community really feeling that lack of rain now?
Oh, a lot of people run out of water and all that type of thing. But we're no worse than anybody else. Like it's just a condition that we're used to.
So you say that, but then this loss of grass and this loss of hay, how is that going to impact your livelihood?
Oh yeah, it'll knock our livelihood around, but more than that, the poor cattle and the weather, day after day, it's so hot and windy that, and the poor cattle, they knock your ass in, they do. Yeah, like wherever you go, yeah.
If you were to have firefighters come across your property and say, look sir, look Pat, things are getting bad and I think it's advised that you should leave, what would be your initial reaction?
I'd stay here, but this is all pretty well organised. Oh yeah. See, we've just put a break through from the Spices Gap over onto the highway, and you can look up there and you can see the smoke coming down. Not many years ago, that would have came down and cooked us. But there's a lot of men up there, a lot of water. Haul water up there, they got water tankers up there, and guys to organise it all.
One of the many tough people who are breathing a sigh of relief in and around Queensland. You can see what it was like for him today, now thanks to Julia. And just finally, I want to go to the Mayor of Noosa right now, Tony Wellington, who joins us via Skype to talk about how the operation goes and how things are starting to calm down there. It's been one hell of a tough day, Mr Mayor. How are you holding up at the end of the day?
Yeah, look, I'm fine, but, I feel for the community, obviously, that's been so impacted because, today's events are on the end of a whole week of fire issues that we've had. At its very height last Friday, of course, we evacuated something like 8,000 people in the matter of a couple of hours. So these things take a toll. Unfortunately, the residents of Noosa North Shore are currently being evacuated for the second time in just a few days. That's pretty tough on our residents.
So give me an idea about the operation that you know is there to try to support those people. Obviously, these things are well planned. The fact that you've done it literally as late as last week. Is there an exhaustion factor around those that are trying to help, no matter how big everyone's heart is? We've only got so much in the tank.
Look, you do get to a fatigue level, I'm sure, and that's particularly for those on the fire front. Thankfully, we've got firefighters coming in from interstate and also from New Zealand, which are then allowing our local firefighters a bit of a moment of respite. But this looks like going on for a few days yet. We're not out of the woods because we have these dry, hot, windy conditions continuing. We all knew that today was going to be a shocker. We just didn't know where it was going to happen. Unfortunately, it flared up on Noosa North Shore. But the fireys have done an incredible job, absolutely incredible. There are over 50 units and 6 aerial, helicopter and fixed-wing bombardment aircraft working on the fire today, and no property has been lost. That's the main thing. Well, the main thing, of course, is that no lives have been lost, but significantly also no property's been lost today. So it's just fantastic, the effort that's been put in.
And just finally, sir, what's an individual act of kindness that you would like to tell us about, something you've seen in the past few days? I know that there's thousands of little stories, but is there an example of an individual kindness that you can think of?
Oh, look, there are so many, you know, from the Lions clubs just immediately providing food to all the evacuees, down to, you know, particular efforts. On Friday night, for example, we had 18 people and a baby caught with fire in front of them and nowhere to go but walk into Lake Koroiba, which is what they did, basically. You know, but fortunately there were 2 police and a fiery there with them, consoling them at the time. I don't think people understand that the role of our frontline officers is not just to fight fires, but the police, of course, are going door to door, having to deal with distressed people. The police have a presence at the evacuation centre. And now, of course, we already have a recovery hub set up that has community services, Lifeline, etc., so people can go and talk to get it out of their system should they need to.
Good on you, Mr Mayor. I appreciate it. All the best to everyone for the next few days and everyone who's doing their bit.
Thanks very much for your time.